The world is full of men who strive to be liked, to fit in, and to conform to the established social script. They adjust their volume, their posture, and their opinions to ensure they create minimal social friction. This is the path of comfort. The Sigma male is the opposite. He does not adjust his internal code to suit the external environment. His actions are dictated purely by strategic efficiency, logical necessity, and the mandates of his inner scorecard. He is so focused on his purpose, his system, and his solitude that he rarely considers how his behavior impacts the delicate emotional ecosystem of the herd. The consequence is profound. The very things the Sigma does naturally, the things that guarantee his sovereignty, are often interpreted by the dependent world as intimidating, unpredictable, or genuinely frightening. This fear is not due to aggression, it is due to authenticity. The Sigma's absolute lack of need, his refusal to perform, and his strategic clarity expose the fragility and dependence of those around him. Today, for the Solitude Scroll, we are dissecting the external consequence of your internal code. We will reveal the 8 frightening things Sigma males do without realizing it, the specific behaviors that unintentionally generate fear in the herd, and why these frightening actions are essential for your survival. The unconscious threat, necessity vs. interpretation. The core misunderstanding lies in the necessity versus interpretation gap. Sigma's necessity, the action is functional, e.g., conserving energy, getting data. Herd's interpretation, the action is hostile, e.g., judgment, rejection, premeditated malice. The Sigma's lack of social effort is what makes him terrifying. He breaks the fundamental social contract that states, "You must acknowledge and validate my existence." 1. The absence of small talk, the social vacuum. The social script demands lubrication, the constant flow of shallow, low-value conversation, small talk, designed to mask discomfort and validate belonging. The Sigma's necessity, the Sigma adheres to transactional engagement, persona I, Rule 4, and the data filter, Rule 4. He views small talk as a massive time and energy tax, Attack 6. He engages only when there is a clear, functional purpose, signal, not noise. Why it's frightening, this triggers the fear of rejection and social violation. The herd relies on small talk to establish safety and non-threat. When the Sigma bypasses this ritual, he signals, "I do not need to validate your existence, nor do I require your comfort." This breaks the social contract, creating a terrifying vacuum where the average person's default coping mechanism fails. They interpret his silence as active, cold judgment of their lack of worth. The strategic consequence, the Sigma preserves his cognitive clarity, Gift 10, by eliminating low-value input. The herd is forced to either match his level of functional engagement or retreat. 2. The unannounced exit, the loss of control. The average person requires a dramatic, verbal announcement or justification before leaving a social setting or severing a low-value tie. The Sigma's necessity, the Sigma enforces the quiet pivot, Act 4 of indifference, and always has an active exit strategy, Secret 3. His mission is non-negotiable, and he views long, sentimental goodbyes as emotional leakage and a waste of focus. Why it's frightening, this triggers the fear of loss and finality. The dependent mind finds the Sigma's sudden, non-emotional departure terrifying because it demonstrates absolute self-sufficiency and zero emotional debt, Act 2. The lack of explanation prevents the herd from engaging in closure, manipulation, or debate. The Sigma's action shows that he does not need their permission to prioritize his time, which exposes their own dependence on social structure. The strategic consequence, the sigma preserves his mobility and ensures the enforcement of the non-negotiable boundary, Rule 6. His absence creates the magnetic void, Gift 8, that paradoxically increases the value of his occasional presence. 3. The unwavering gaze, the intensity of observation. The average man uses shifting gaze and soft focus to manage social discomfort and avoid seeming aggressive. The sigma's necessity, the sigma uses strategic observation, Rule 4, to constantly process data, the data filter. When engaging, his focus is absolute, rooted in telepathic sensing, Power 1, to read nonverbal intent. This translates to an unwavering, intense stare. Why it's frightening, this triggers the fear of exposure and intense scrutiny. The unwavering gaze feels like the sigma is looking past the surface performance and directly into the deepest, hidden truth, the chaos, the insecurity, or the lie. The individual feels as if they are being scanned for defects by a superior intelligence. The intensity exposes their vulnerability deficit, weakness 5, making them instinctively uncomfortable and defensive. The strategic consequence. The sigma gains crucial, unvarnished data and forces the other party to betray information through nervous shifting and over-explanation, while the sigma maintains his own information scarcity, Secret 1. 4. The complete lack of jealousy, the irrelevant currency. The herd often uses competition, envy, and the validation of others' desire to measure their own success and attract partners. The sigma's necessity, the sigma operates solely on the inner scorecard, Rule 2, and adheres to emotional detachment, Forge 3. His self-worth is absolute, making him immune to the performance of others and the concept of social competition. Why it's frightening, this triggers the fear of irrelevance. The herd uses external markers, money, status, attracting others, as social currency. When the sigma shows no reaction, no envy, and no competition for those markers, he fundamentally invalidates the entire reward system the herd operates on. His indifference signals that the object or person of desire is strategically low value to him, which is deeply unsettling to those who define their worth through external conquest. The strategic consequence, the sigma maintains unbribable integrity, reason 3 of regret. He cannot be pulled into petty conflict or manipulated by shame-based comparison, allowing him to focus his resources entirely on his mission. 5. The non-apology, the demand for absolute accuracy. The social script demands frequent, even unnecessary, apologies to smooth over friction and maintain harmony. The sigma's necessity, the sigma operates on the truth-seeker's compass, Gift 5, and the sovereign self-critic, Trait 3. He only apologizes when his action violates a factual truth or a clear contractual agreement. He refuses to apologize for feelings, intentions, or subjective interpretation. Why it's frightening, this triggers the fear of accountability. The dependent mind uses the social ritual of the apology to avoid accepting responsibility for their own chaotic feelings or misinterpretations. The sigma's refusal to apologize for things outside his control exposes the herd's attempt to use guilt and emotional leverage to impose their feelings onto his reality. His non-apology is often a simple, factual restatement of his position, which is terrifyingly objective. The strategic consequence. The sigma defends his cognitive clarity and refuses to pay the guilt tax, Attack 2, maintaining the integrity of his code. He ensures that his word remains absolute and attached only to factual reality. 6. The intentional underperformance, the unseen potential. The herd constantly overperforms and announces capabilities to secure approval and status. The Sigma's necessity. The Sigma adheres to strategic ambiguity and information scarcity. Secret 6. He reveals only the bare minimum of his capabilities necessary to complete a task, reserving his highest leverage skills and knowledge, the true scale of mission. Secret 1. Why it's frightening. This triggers the fear of the unknown potential. The herd cannot easily categorize or assess the Sigma because they don't know his ceiling. They see evidence of competence, quiet execution, but cannot map his full strategic power, leading to genuine anxiety. They fear that he is holding a devastating reserve of power that could be unleashed at any moment, the unforeseen counter, phase 6 of bullying. The strategic consequence. The Sigma achieves unseen leverage and protects his most advanced skills from external competition or exploitation. He is always underestimated, which is the ultimate strategic advantage. 7. The silence of decision. The unreadable mind. The average man makes decisions loudly, often talking through his reasoning to seek affirmation. The Sigma's necessity. The Sigma engages in the logical calculation, patience test, stage 3. He processes data internally, adhering to the sovereign silence necessary to vet his choices against his inner citadel, the private self. Why it's frightening. This triggers the fear of the unreadable mind. When the Sigma is faced with a high-stakes choice, his mind goes silent, the freeze response, stage 6 of patience test. He provides no facial cues, no verbal hints, and no emotional debate. The herd cannot predict the outcome of his choice or the internal process that led to it, making the final decision seem absolute and inevitable. They fear the power of a mind they cannot influence. The strategic consequence. The Sigma ensures his decisions are based on pure logic and strategic alignment, free from emotional pressure or external interference. 8. Rejecting emotional gifts. The cost of being unbribable. The average man uses gifts, favors, and pity as a form of social currency to create emotional debt and leverage. The Sigma's necessity. The Sigma adheres to energetic autonomy, Rule 1, and the absence of emotional debt, Act 2 of indifference. He rejects gifts or favors that create a non-transactional obligation. Why it's frightening. This triggers the fear of leverage failure. The herd is terrified of someone who cannot be bribed, manipulated, or put into their debt. When the Sigma politely but firmly rejects a gift or a favor, he is signaling that the established social tools of control are useless against him. This exposes the gift giver's true motive, the attempt to gain leverage, and renders them powerless. The strategic consequence. The Sigma remains uncompromised and unbribable, maintaining the structural integrity of his freedom and his non-negotiable boundary, Rule 6. Conclusion. The power of truth. The Sigma male is the ultimate disruptor of illusion. The frightening things you do are not the result of malicious intent, they are the natural consequences of living a life governed by truth, efficiency, and sovereignty. Your dedication to the inner citadel, your refusal to play the performance trap, and your absolute energetic autonomy expose the fragility of those who rely on external validation. This exposure is terrifying to the herd, and that fear is the ultimate proof that your code is working. Your duty is to maintain this code. Never compromise your silence, your boundaries, or your truth for the sake of making others comfortable. If this deep dive resonated with you, if you are ready to own the power of your unintentional intimidation, then it is time to make a commitment. Hit that like button, subscribe to the Solitude Scroll, and drop a comment below and tell me which of the 8 frightening behaviors is the most powerful tool for self-defense.